everyone, and welcome to Lattes on My Mind.
I'm Hannah.
And I'm Felina. What are we talking about today?
We're talking about our little sayings that we have today and their origins.
Ooh,
or
fancy.
maybe it's what your grandparents were saying. Maybe,
Oh.
perhaps. Perhaps.
Per maybe.
So grab those lattes and join us for the journey.
How the heck have you been, Hannah?
You know.
I do.
How the heck have you
But
been?
tell the people, how have I been?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Whew. Brother.
Brother. How about what's new instead?
What's new?
Because like for me, I was like, I saw my family. What was new for you?
What was new?
Oh, I know what you got new.
We got sightings.
They got sightings.
Thank you for the reminder.
You're welcome.
Sometimes I forget how much time has passed since we record these. So I'm like, what even is new?
I don't know what happened.
We got new siding.
Yeah, and it's
sage green.
It's green.
And we got gutters, and they're black.
Gutters. That's why it's very cohesive now.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
because the shutters we painted
the black. And that's quite nice.
And it looks so modern. And we painted the center block on the bottom black as well.
That's why. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's right. I forgot you did that.
Yeah.
And your flower beds look nice.
And we got plants. I went to Lowe's 3 times separately in one day, and I wanted to shoot my brains out.
Yeah, I don't.
Jokes, of course. Psych, of course.
Psych, of course. I can't stand it.
And I said to Marshall, I said, this would be a really good curse. If you were like cursing somebody, they have to go to Lowe's 3 times of every single day because they've forgotten something.
Oh my God.
I said, that would be a wonderful curse. He goes, so that'd be expensive. And I'd be like,
yes,
that's why it's a curse.
It's a curse. I love the smell of Lowe's, and I don't hate Lowe's. I like Lowe's, but I hate going there because Wesley takes forever to decide on one thing.
25,000 years.
Gotta make sure this is the right screw. And sorry, that was really loud. But like, I cannot stand it. And then I get so bored, and I'm like walking in circles because I'm like, this is so unnecessary. It's the right one. He's researched it. He's looked at it 15 million times.
He goes in deciding what, because Marshall does it too.
Yes, exactly.
They go in having decided what they're going to get,
Right.
and then they stand there for 30 minutes staring at all the different options. And I'm like, I don't like standing still for this long.
Right.
I need to move around.
Right.
My attention span can't last this long. I don't know I'm not reading what you're looking at because I know nothing about what you're doing. And also, number 2, my thing here is you're thinking, well, I guarantee you guys, when you go in your little shop, you spend all your time looking. No, Hannah and I are not like that.
Yeah, we're not.
We are not your average girls. We don't just go into Hobby Lobby and spend 25. Actually, matter of fact, Marshall spends longer in Hobby Lobby than I do.
Yes, I'm like, okay, I'm good.
Now, if I'm going looking for something to hang on the walls, I will take a little bit longer because I'll be like, I want something, and there's so much stuff to hang on walls. Yeah. So you gotta have to make sure.
And I take a long time at Christmas, but that's because I'm trying to find stuff.
Not only that, but it's crowded.
Yeah,
at Christmas.
that too.
So there's like people, and so
unfortunate.
you know, like or like clothes. Yeah. We're not like we don't just go shopping for clothes like that.
I'll go look for clothes, and I immediately die inside,
and then I order it online. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. The only time I take long, like with clothes, is if I'm with other females.
Yeah, I can't. I don't like going clothes shopping with other females.
If I'm clothes shopping with Marshall, like if we go into Old Navy, you know, like then I'll be like, hey, does this look good? He'll be like, or he'll be like, yeah, looks good. Most of the time it's looks good, and it doesn't, and you're like, I don't want it. Okay, bye. You know, it's like it's quick. We're in and out. But the Lowe's, all that to say, we don't have an equivalent to Lowe's.
No.
Like our husbands do.
No.
And it's really annoying.
Yeah. You know what store I go to the most? 7 Brew. And I drive right
the
through. And I get my coffee and I leave. Brew. Or Kroger.
Brew.
I can spend a lot of time in Kroger, but that's just because I'm going down, getting everything by myself. And it's difficult because I start being like, well, we might need this, we might need this, we might need this.
Yeah. I spent a long time in Kroger because our Kroger is different than our old Kroger.
Oh my God.
And nothing's the same.
I know.
It's completely flipped opposite.
You're like,
and I'm like, I know where nothing is. I spent like 30 minutes the other day looking for water chestnuts. And
At that point, look it up on the app.
I did.
Oh, you didn't? You still could have.
I couldn't find them. The lady, I asked for help, and the lady couldn't find them.
I would have been like,
they were on the floor, and the front row of them was missing, so you couldn't see them.
I would have been like, no water chestnuts. I would have just been like, it's. What were you making?
We were making like a stir fry.
Okay, so you were putting. I was gonna say, there's not very many things that you need water chestnuts for, so it's like, I'm just gonna give up. It's fine.
Yeah, and I asked the lady, "Where's the water chestnuts?" And then this lady walking by goes, "Probably the Asian aisle." And I was like, "Listen here, lady. If you think that I have not been up and down that aisle 20 times already, you are dead wrong."
Yeah. Okay, lady.
It was painful.
Really? Thank you. That's helpful.
And then she was looking, and she couldn't find them for like a hot minute either. And then she was like, "Oh, wait, they might be on the bottom."
They were, indeed.
And they were, because she saw
That's
a blank
put
spot.
the pumpkin too. Thankfully, you can most of the time see it because there's a few different options. But like, it's
really,
yes, the like pureed pumpkin
on the bottom.
And it's so annoying because I'm like, I gotta get down there and see if there's big cans left because I give it to my dogs because they're spoiled. But yeah, it's annoying. I'm like always like, I don't want to get down there and see if they're like way back there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or then it's on the top shelf and I'm like,
and you can't reach it.
Nope.
I've seen it on the top shelf.
The things I have done in stores I had a broom once. I was like,
oh my gosh, I did that once with dog food.
Really?
Yes, we were at Walmart and we couldn't get the dog food and it was all the way in the back.
Yeah.
And so I was like, hold please. And I went down. It was the neighborhood Walmart over by you.
Yeah.
It was the neighborhood Walmart. And then so I went and I got a Swiffer because
anything helps.
And then I like pushed it, like I went underneath and like pushed it because it's like the wire shelf
so
type.
So
I like pushed it forward slowly and then
there you go. You gotta do what you gotta do.
You
resourceful.
You gotta use your resources.
I'm not gonna call someone. It's embarrassing that I can't reach that shelf.
Yeah. Sometimes there's someone who like has kind
short.
eyes beside you. I've never had this issue.
You have kind eyes,
but sometimes there's other than like it's back. A little bit.
Well, you're tall.
Sometimes they have kind eyes, and you're like, hey, do you mind grabbing that for me?
I don't meet very many kind eyes.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
that's the anxiety.
Everyone talks to me though. Yeah. I'm like this guy the other day was like, these prices, and then he started to.
Oh my gosh!
Like, you can get one of those at Costco for $20, and then oh my gosh, he kept going and going, and I was like, yep.
I went to Lowe's again, but I went by myself, so it was fine. I went to Lowe's and I got some paint trays.
Sure,
because we were painting the bottom of the house black. And so I got some paint trays and some paint sticks and some like concrete rollers.
Right, as you do.
And this guy he goes, now I got that. Where's the caulk? And so I start looking around to try and help him, you know?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't know. Where's the caulk?
Yeah.
And he goes, yes, I'm talking to myself. If I don't say it, I won't remember. I said, no, I was just trying to help you look. And then he finds it. He comes back. He goes, this is $10. And then I was like, that little thing is $10? He was like, yes. And I was like, they have things in like other places. Maybe look, he was like, I found this is actually cheaper over in the wood area. They have some over there. I found this is cheaper. And then he was telling me all the things that he had found that was cheaper.
That's like the same thing?
Yeah. And he was like, but it's over on the other end of the store. But it's like, because the other end of the store is more like you have a business.
Yeah. Okay.
And so he's like, I found that cheaper over there. He was like, I got this. And then he goes and he's like, smart. I found one for $2.
I found one for $10.
And I was like, hey,
I love
job.
how we both did the voice like that. And the funny thing is, like, my guy didn't even
my guy sounded like
my guy did not sound like
my
that.
My guy sounded a little bit like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm exaggerating, but he did.
Right.
We are in the county that we're in.
Right. So they're going to be talking like
that.
You know what they would say? They would say the bee's knees, which is our first
No, they say bless your heart.
Bless your heart.
But the bee's knees. Let's talk about it.
Do you know about the bee's knees?
It's the bee's knees.
It's the bee's knees.
They're wobbly.
It's supposed to mean that it's the it's the best.
It's the ish.
Yeah, they're impressive. They're good. It's your favorite of all the things. It's the bee's knees. Okay. Now it can denote coolness, style. That you can say to the bee's knees.
Can you repeat what you said?
Coolness, cool. You're cool.
What'd you say before that?
Denote.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Denote. It can denote.
I thought you just buffered for a second. You said it can denote. I was like, okay.
I might have. Who knows? At this rate. It was originally thought that it actually meant that like something was small or insignificant. So it completely took on the complete opposite meaning.
Well, how to do that?
Right. So the good people of the 1920s, you might ask.
Oh.
That's in the 20s.
The prohibition.
Yes. So they were fascinated with like comparing something to
a summer's day.
A summer's day, one might say. They liked using like parts of the animal, like anatomy wise, that like wasn't like actually there, that was like insignificant. Like they would say tiger spots. Like, tigers don't have
tigers
spots.
have stripes.
Yeah, or elephants adenoids, which is like the thing in your throat or something.
Well,
like
they
that.
didn't know that elephants didn't have adenoids.
Do elephants have adenoids? By the way, yeah. In the 20s, were they looking at it?
Let's look it up. Actually, now I'm curious.
Yeah,
Continue.
I am too. So bee's knees was one of those things.
Okay.
And they think it kind of stuck around because it was fun, because it rhymed,
Right.
So now they don't know particularly why they focused on the knees, and some people thought maybe it's because certain bees have these little pollen sacs on their legs that they like put pollen in and they carry it.
What?
Yeah, and they're also called like pollen baskets. And if you look it up, you can find some of the bees that have it, and they can like put it in there and then carry it.
Okay.
Indeed.
First, side note, yes, elephants have the equivalent to adenoids.
They do.
And now I'm going to look up bees with pollen sacs.
Yes. So some be like, well, maybe this is why, but like there's no definitive proof. Like, yeah, that's why they called it that, because they carried that. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
And also, you spell sacs S-A-C-S.
S-A-C-S, yeah. Or they're also called baskets. Pollen baskets.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. Oh, whoa, that one that one is beefed up.
That's aggressive.
Pollen.
Oh my gosh.
How did they fit that in their basket? It's like when I go to Kroger.
How did they fit that in
and
their
I
basket?
get the little cart. And I should not have gotten
And you should not have gotten the little cart.
That's
yes.
what that bee looks. He came.
Well, the other day we went and we got a basket, an actual basket.
Oh, yeah, no, that.
And I was like, and we do it for like portion control. We're like, well, we can't get it. It won't fit in the basket. And then we saw that the chips were on sale, and we were like, ha, ha, ha.
See?
We can do it.
That's what I think that it is. I'm like, well, if I get this cart, I'll get less. And then I just end up overfilling the cart. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the other day at like Walmart, I had like a kiddie pool for the dogs and like all these paper towels and, toilet paper. Mm-hmm. I did have a regular size cart, but I had still no room.
See, I have the opposite issue. I get a full size cart for like 3 things, like small things. Like,
yeah, why is it like when you get the big cart, you only get?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I need shampoo, and then I need shredded cheese, and then it's like, oh, here, let me get some gummy worms.
Maybe that's what you need to do is always get the big cart,
and then you'll get less.
Yeah, and you'll get less.
Now we've cracked the code.
Cooking. Yes,
we're cooking.
We're cooking, literally.
Literally, I think Marshall might be actually.
Oh, really?
Well, maybe
spaghetti.
Well, he might be cooking the meat.
He might be.
I don't know if she's still here, actually.
I don't know either.
Anyways.
Could be.
So pollen sacs.
Yes, but so that's kind of all with the bee's knees. It's kind of just like the people in the 20s like to like say weird things like tigers have spots.
They're weird.
Yeah.
The people of the 20s are weird.
Yes. The second one, paint the town red. We're going to paint the town red. How would you use this?
With the blood.
Yeah, with the blood.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Something to do?
No, I mean, that is one of the things. But
okay. That's what I thought. I was like, something has something to do with blood.
But how do we use it today? Do you know?
They're going to paint the town red, like they're going to go out on the town.
Yeah, like we're going to have a crazy night. There might be a little bit of alcohol. There might be blah, blah, blah.
There might be blood.
Right, there might be indeed. So obviously there's a few different proposals for this one, okay?
Oh,
they always are like, it could have come from this, it could have come from that. They're never 100%
So they're
sure.
unsure on this one.
Kinda.
Okay.
But it could be, I think they kind of lean toward kind of what you said, and we'll get to that.
Okay.
But it could be that alcohol just makes your face red. That's one of them. You're going to paint the town red.
It does. It does.
But why would you say paint the town red? So that to me is not like great.
Well, they're going to paint the town red because they're going on a crawl.
Yeah.
They're going all around. They're going this way, that way, that way.
Comes
and is this also from the 20s?
No.
Oh, okay. I was about to say
there's lots of different.
If it comes from the 20s, then I mean they have to say paint the town red because it can't be like we're gonna go on a bar crawl.
Right. This one, there's 2 options of how far back it goes, and obviously we'll talk about that.
Okay.
It's also said it could be a nod to the Dante poem, the Inferno, where they say in the poem that they're gonna, we are they who painted the world scarlet with sins. So it could do with that. Debauchery, going about the town.
Right.
Sinfulness of all that sort of.
We can't have any of that.
Right. Then, of course, drunk cowboys, Felina.
Oh,
They'd be shooting this is the blood one. Not the same blood that you were talking about, but essentially they would like shoot their guns in the air, and say, I'm going to paint the town red with your blood, essentially.
Oh, because the town was small.
Yeah.
And if you shoot someone,
you're painting
blood.
the town red. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that, or another theory with the cowboys.
Oh, wow. A lot more cowboys than I thought.
There are a lot more cowboys enter the phrases than you would expect. But it also could be that in the Wild West, there were a lot of brothels. So they considered it like a red light district.
Oh.
So maybe
that makes more sense.
That makes more sense to you than
it does.
painting the blood of your enemies upon the ground
the
of the
cowboy
town.
with the blood of the town. Yeah. That makes more sense. We'll paint the town red.
Yeah.
And it would be the red light.
All the
people saying, we're painting the town red.
Yes. Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
Exactly.
And then they'd lure them in.
And guess who else lures you in?
Oh.
All right, so this is the biggest story. And if you look it up, it does come up. But they're like, well, this phrase wasn't associated with him until like 50 years later. So this is not where it comes from. But it's also like, well, it could have been inspired by that just because something's not 50 years later. Because it's kind of fun because it's literally the most literal sense that we have of something that could, have influenced this phrase.
Okay.
So it happened in 1837 in England. Okay.
Oh.
There was a man named
The Great Depression.
The Great Depression. No, 1837.
Oh, just kidding.
Just kidding. 100 years before the Great Depression.
Psych, of course.
Psych. Maybe they were depressed. Maybe it was the England's Great Depression. I don't know.
Maybe.
So this guy named the Marquis of Waterford.
Oh, the Marquis.
Yes, the Marquis. Also known as the Mad Marquis because he was known to be a mischief maker and all
crazy.
That. Yes, he was crazy.
He's crazy girl.
So he was out after the races, I guess, like, I don't know, horse races or something like that.
Sure.
With his friends, they were
they were partaking.
They were partaking of the golden liquid.
Was it
I
golden
don't know which
or
one.
was it red? If it was a wine. If it was a port.
It could have been. What if it is red wine? We haven't considered this.
No.
So they were having a little too much fun, Felina.
Oh, naturally.
They were going about being drunken fools, a gaggle of drunken fools.
Not the gaggle.
They were tipping over the gaggle. I know, I had to use that word. They were tipping over flower pots. They were pulling off people's door knockers.
No, that's just rude.
Yeah, that's just rude. And then they ran into like the toll keeper. So I guess there's like a toll gate when you're going into town or something. You had to pay
into town,
and wouldn't let them in the town. Because they were
causing a ruckus.
They were so inebriated, they were causing a ruckus.
Yes.
He said, "No, go back your way." So they
go back your way.
He's Australian. Go back your way. Wherever you came
Crikey,
from,
mate.
Crikey. It's a late hour. So he's like, "No, guys, you can't come in." And they're like, "Well, we're gonna lock you in your place, and we're gonna block you in, and we're gonna steal your red paint." Literally stole his paint. I don't know why this man had red paint. But they took
Why did he have red paint?
I do not know. Maybe because like with the toll, maybe he had to
maybe he's
paint
like
something
stamping like Mickey Mouse on your hands.
Right,
you get a pass. You get a pass.
Right. You can go through. You can go through. You can't go through. You're out.
No red paint for you.
So they get like, I don't know, red cancel
Are you
sign.
18? You get an X.
Right. Exactly. It's something like that. I don't know. He had red paint. Okay.
Cool.
I don't know why.
Okay.
So this story exists.
Or was it blood? Was he a serial killer?
Was he keeping blood? So they lock him up and they're like, bye. And so they take the paint and they're flinging it on doors. They're flinging it on windows. They paint the toll gate. They paint a swan statue.
Red.
So they literally paint the town red.
That's
while they're
too
drunk.
literal for me.
It's too literal for you?
Yeah.
But it like this is actually a story that happened.
It's actually,
so
we have proof this happened.
This story happened, but we don't know if that's actually where it came from.
Or maybe they had heard paint the town red, and saw the red paint, and we're like,
hey,
let's paint the town red.
Yeah, who's
we're
to say
having a grand old time.
Right, because this is 1837. So like, when was the Wild West? Like, that was later though. Wild West was later. But it could have been earlier too. Like, we don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So they maybe heard it and they're like, we're going to do that. Mm-hmm. But they had to end up paying £100 a piece for their
£100
ruckus in 1837. So I feel like that's quite a bit of money.
That's like $1,000.
Yes. The first written record of this, Felina, though, is in 1881. So like they might have been saying it before then, but this is the first time they have like found it in writing. Was in Kentucky, of all places.
Nuh-uh.
I forget
and
what
it was
said.
Louisville, and they were coming to
Probably.
face off UK, and they said, we're going to paint the town red. It was derogatory.
Yeah. Curse Louisville.
Yeah.
We paint the town blue.
We're going to paint the town blue.
Exactly. Hey, that's actually kind of that's a pretty good campaign for them.
Paint the town
they probably
red.
used it.
Maybe. I hope so. Maybe
have
not.
they used it? If
If
not,
they haven't, Louisville, University of
Yeah, you're
Louisville,
missing out.
hire us. We'll do your graphics.
We're gonna
and
paint
your-
the town red.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Also, okay, so more pirates. What? More cowboys.
Oh my gosh.
Where did the pirates come from?
Is this still Paint the Town Red?
No, we're moving on.
Oh, okay.
to
Okay. I was like, how many cowboy
Right.
stories are with Paint the Town Red?
Riding shotgun. Dun, dun, dun. Do you know
this makes
one?
sense.
Do you know this one?
If it's a cowboy, they're gonna ride
Right.
and they're gonna shoot.
Right,
You know,
right.
they're riding shotgun.
Well,
They're
it's sort of cowboys, but it's like stagecoach, which is like, you would know, same days. You know?
same time.
Obviously, we know that riding shotgun means you're claiming the front passenger seat.
seat.
I never got to ride shotgun as a kid.
Well,
I
you are
was
the youngest.
back middle on Forge.
Yes,
you know how that
yes,
goes. You're like,
yes.
you're the youngest. I was the smallest at the time. Not anymore. But I still revert to that because I feel like I have to because I'm the youngest still. So I'm
You
like,
should just
okay.
call shotgun once.
Right. Shotgun.
Shotgun.
No, I don't get shotgun. That's a privilege for the few.
For the few.
for the older.
I get shotgun quite a bit.
Do you really? Like
I
even
do.
in like bigger situations, like bigger groups?
With my family?
Yeah.
Yeah, unless
Really?
unless it's like my aunt or my granny, one of my aunts or my granny. But if it's me and my brothers, I call shotgun all the
Well,
time. I
you
get
are the only
shotgun.
girl.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
shotgun.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I do not. So this comes from Stagecoach days. Why, Felina? I'm doing it again. Why, Felina? Felina.
Hannah.
Because they would place a guard beside the driver who would hold a shotgun because the Wild West was dangerous. And also they would be going along. There'd be like taverns along the way. No, there would be like not a lot of stuff along the way.
It's the Wild
It's the Wild
West.
West. So
Cowboys and Indians.
exactly.
Cops and robbers.
Exactly. So obviously the West is kind of rough. What's in the West Wing? It's forbidden. That's what I think of anytime the dogs go on West. It's forbidden. Oh, it's the West Wing. Oh,
Wesley, I so wish you would have listened to this.
I know, because then you know that we're talking about you.
And yet he doesn't support
Because the dogs
he does
aren't
in other
allowed
ways.
in there, in that room.
Because it's forbidden.
It's forbidden because it has his printer. He has a 3D printer and a computer that lots of dog hair gets in. It's kind of.
I'm shocked that Marshall suggested last time we record the dogs come with us because they're not allowed down
They're
here.
not allowed down here? Really?
Really?
Really? Because of his instruments?
No, because one,
Okay.
it gives Kiki a sanctuary.
It's Kiki Sanctuary.
No, she really just likes to sit right there. Two,
Is she here?
no.
Oh, okay.
Two, she was asleep on the bed.
Two.
We spent a lot of time down here previously, not so much recently because we're so busy.
Right.
Gaming, and it's a
She would
dog-free
yeah.
zone, and Marshall can like chill wherever. He
True.
doesn't have to worry about
So he's
like a
not
dog
snizzing.
getting in his face, and so
It's
yeah,
fair. He's allergic.
he is allergic.
So, yes. Sorry. Riding shotgun. That's where we were.
Sorry.
The guard would go with the driver. He would sit on that side, obviously, because the stagecoach you're driving, and then the person's beside you. He chose a shotgun because, it scatters. So if someone's coming up,
Deals more damage.
and also it's easier to use in short range. So if someone's coming up and stealing from your stagecoach, kapow, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So although we know it originated from this practice, they weren't saying that then. They weren't saying, "Oh, I'm going to ride shotgun." That's not. It was, I think, written for the first time in 1919 by. I think it's a Utah. I don't know if it's a newspaper,
tracks.
the Ogden Examiner. Yeah, really.
Honestly,
But
tracks.
they said Ross. I don't know who Ross was, but the title was Ross will again ride shotgun on old stagecoach. So I guess like he just kind of
Okay.
like he was. Probably, I mean, it was probably because you're writing. You know how they like shorten newspaper art? I feel like titles they do that a lot.
Yeah.
Like, they kind of cut out words. So maybe that's why he said again ride shotgun. That's my theory. That was just something I just added to my shelf right now.
It's true. It's 100% fact.
It's 100%
Actually, you
fact.
should take it as like
Gospel truth.
the
That's
gospel.
the gospel
That's
truth.
the gospel truth.
Oh, we don't want to be sued, but disclaimer.
Psych, of course. Psych, of course.
Psych, of course, we didn't sing it. We didn't sing it. I don't know what you're talking about. But it really took off. The phrase really took off during the Hollywood Western film craze.
I believe.
Yeah, so it just became really integrated into the culture that they, that became a phrase, and then it kind of just morphed into cars, essentially. I don't know how that change happened. I think it's just whenever it was like, oh, the passenger side.
Probably. I mean, you know how we're like, old sport or something
old
like
sport,
that. It's probably like, hey, I'm riding shotgun.
Old sport.
Yeah, because they were watching the Western movies where they were riding shotgun, and then they were like, hey, cowboy riding shotgun.
I want to ride shotgun. I want to, be the pirate, whatever, all those things.
Like that. That's probably how it got.
Exactly. All right, we got the pot calling the kettle black.
Because they're both black.
Because you know what it means? Yeah, it's
your, well, it's
take
like,
the log out of your eye before you,
It's like you didn't hang out with it. You cancelled your hangout with a person. And then this is just example. It's not like, it's just example.
it's not.
It's like you had to cancel your hangout with a person, and then you rescheduled.
But then you rescheduled.
And then they had to cancel on you last minute, and then you get upset about it. And it's like, well, that's the pot calling the kettle black.
Right. Like, you're getting mad over something that you literally do.
Yeah.
It's hypocrisy, really.
You
hypocrite. One of these phrases, or one of the where they think this might have originated, goes back to 1546.
Whoa.
In a poem. There's lots of poems I find that inspire these as well. One called John Haywood is his name. And his poem was called Proverbs. The pot calls the kettle black, but both are black at length. That's the
insightful.
But here's the thing. It's essentially the whole poem was about being hypocritical, because both pots and kettles at the time were cooked over the fire.
So they were both black.
So they got blackened. The soot from the smoke made them black. So it was literally being like, you might be shiny right now, you like pot, because you haven't been cooked over the fire that much. Right. So like, you're calling me black, but just wait, you're gonna be
your turn
over.
will come.
Yeah, cooked over. What?
You're gonna be cooked over.
You're gonna be cooked over the fire. So that's essentially where it comes from. There's also a later translation in Don Quixote. If you've know anything about that, I have not read it. It's also been turned into a ballet, which I have seen, which is very long. And that's kind of where they think maybe spread the saying, but it wasn't like invented. Then we think it goes further back
into the poem
days. Kick the bucket is our next one.
You did.
It literally means to die. This one kind of made me sad, which I mean, I should have known, because
you know what kick the bucket means.
Kick the bucket means. So I'm going to go with the one that they think is more likely, but it's not as fun and it makes me sad. So there's this thing that when they slaughtered animals, they would put them on, like they would hang them from, like, before they slaughtered them, and it was called like the bucket or something like that. Like, so when the animals were restrained up there, they would flail and they would kick the bucket. And so that's kind of one of the things. And that's so horrible and so cruel.
Awful.
And this is obviously like the 1500s, okay? So
right.
We don't do these things anymore.
We're civilized.
Yes, we are.
We're shooting between
animal
the eyes.
conscious. Yes, if they have to die. Well, I don't know. Actually, that's not entirely true, because whenever I see those chicken trucks that go down the highway and they just put all those chickens on top of each other, that makes me so upset. I'm like, that is not nice.
But how else are they supposed to transport them?
Give them some space or something.
But then you can't transport as many, and
it's all about money.
Effective.
Yeah, I don't care. See, it's cruel. I don't care.
I'm not saying it's not cruel.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Don't do that.
America's greedy.
America is greedy. Also, I like this one more, but they said they don't think it's from this.
Well,
but
screw
I
them
think it's
if
from
they can't
this.
take a joke.
So when people were hanged back in the day.
Oh God.
Yes.
Okay, so you're upset about the animals being hung, but not the people.
I'm not upset about the people. They did bad things. The animals didn't do anything.
Whatever.
So when you were being hung, this one upsets me less. I know I'm always like, I'm like, the poor animals. So you had to stand on something before.
Oh, and you stood on a bucket. But I always thought you stood on a box, like an
some people
apple
say that box. Yeah, exactly. Some people had buckets or chairs. I think it really just depends
on how wealthy the area is.
Yeah, they have bucket, and then when they were doing the deed, they kicked the bucket out from underneath your feet. But some people are like, oh, this isn't it because you didn't kick the bucket yourself. I'm like, but that does, so what? So what? Neither did the pig.
Yeah.
Being hung on the thing, he was.
I mean, yeah.
Well, yeah, he did. He kicked the bucket.
Yeah, he did.
But like that could still mean like they're kicking the bucket and you die. You know what I mean? Like,
I like that one better too. Actually.
Yeah, it just makes more sense.
That one is more logical.
Yeah, it is. And also, though, warning, if you are sensitive.
Trigger warning.
Trigger warning. It was also proposed it could be for when someone like took their own
life. Unalives
themselves. They stood on a bucket and then kicked the bucket out from underneath them.
Okay.
So
trigger
all right, if you're back,
over.
Trigger warning over. Okay. So that one's pretty gruesome. It's quite disturbing for either one.
I feel like the last two make the most sense.
It makes more sense, but they're like, it probably wasn't this. And I'm like, but that's
what do they know?
Yeah, I think it was because they literally did kick the bucket.
It's a matter of opinion.
Right. It makes more sense to me.
Because that's my opinion.
The poor pigs.
Sorry.
And the humans.
Hannah.
Well, who wins? If they did something, I mean, I obviously don't like that idea of you hanging someone, and most of the time they were hung for the wrong reasons, so they probably weren't even bad people. So it is sad, but it just animals are so helpless, and it makes me sad to think of them flailing. Spill the beans.
Oh no! Yeah, what is this one?
Really, you don't know what spill the beans is?
I mean, I know what it is, but like, what?
Why?
Where? Like, there's nowhere I can think.
Right.
Of.
Obviously, there's
like the tea. Spill the tea.
Yes, now it's spill the
sense
tea essentially
to me because it's like, well, let's go get some coffee and some gossip. You know, like let's spill some hot gossip while we get a drinky drink. You know, but the beans.
So the beans. There's also that, well, we don't know if this is where it came from, blah, 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 but this is a possibility. I hate that. I'm just like, well, it makes sense. So let's just say that's where it's from. But
right.
So there was an ancient form of voting in ancient Greece where they would use beans to as a type of ballot. So like there would be like a white bean for like a positive vote and a darker bean for a negative vote. So you would put them in the jar and I guess whichever okay, this jar is for Felina. There's more negative votes, so no, Felina.
Spill whatever. The beans.
Yes, and if someone were to spill the beans, it would reveal the vote before it was supposed to be revealed. So that's kind of what it was, because obviously, spill the beans means to reveal a secret that you weren't supposed to, right? Like that's
or
kind of
goss,
or hot goss, or being like, oh, you spilled the beans, like they weren't supposed to know that yet. You know what I mean? That's kind of the idea. So that was supposedly where this could have come from. They're not 100% sure. It was written down in 1919, I guess, for the first time, used in that way, to spill the beans in a novel. Okay. It was Mom spilled the beans or something like that.
Right.
But they think that maybe that is where the saying comes from, because a lot of these things are, this was they were doing this in ancient times, so they started using that as a phrase later on, obviously, but they weren't in Greece, did they spill the beans?
Right.
But that's possibly a method that they used, so it could have inspired it. All right. Close but no cigar, which is such a...
Never heard that before.
Have you never heard that one? They say close but no cigar. So it essentially means... I've heard it because it's in Tintin, the movie. He says close but no cigar, and I thought it was funny. I was like, where the heck? What is that? But that is a saying that people say, which essentially means you almost won, or but you fell short. Right. Hand grenades. What's that one? The horseshoes.
I can kind of understand the premise
just from hearing it.
It's you were so close, but you still don't get it.
But no cigar.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's cigar, that's the part that doesn't make sense, right? But there is a reason for it. So carnivals and circuses would travel around, and eventually they got these side stall games, okay? Because it was it's a way to make more money. People play games, and that's where we get our carnival games, whatever. So, and you know how it's like a claw machine, okay? Mm-hmm. They look easy, right? They look easy, and they suck you in because you're I'm almost there. I'm gonna win. But you don't, and you just keep spending money. But at this time, in the 1900s, cigars were one of the prizes that you would get for the game. So you're close,
but no
cigar because you haven't won yet. So essentially, also in Victorian times or whatever, in the early 1900s, cigars were pretty cheap. You could buy them,
right?
Buy $200 a box or whatever. Yeah. So that was an easy prize for them. But also you would smoke cigars as an accomplishment, as a celebrating you achievement that you had or something like that. So I guess like as a prize, like you would be smoking it because you won the game or whatever. It was not written down until the 1920s in America, but it's thought
the prohibition.
Okay. They were doing lots of things in the roaring 20s, but it's thought to have existed possibly in England because like the circus was going on in England a lot longer before that, and then it like traveled over here, so it's possibly thought they were already saying that.
Okay.
And then it wasn't written down until like it came over here, like, oh, they said, close but no cigar.
Right.
But yeah, that's that one, and you hadn't even heard that one, so that's kind of fun. So now you can say it. Is that
close but no cigar?
Exactly.
Sorry, boss.
Put a sock in it. We've heard that one. Put a sock in it.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut
Felina,
up.
put a sock in it.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I also like whenever it's the one that's like more fun, they're like, but that's probably not where it came from. I'm like, but it probably was. But one of the ones that they say it probably came from was soldiers in World War I would say it, just like put a cork in it to say shut up or be quiet. And they also thought it could be like when someone was snoring in the barracks or whatever, they would be like, just suck in his mouth, essentially, But another proposal, the one I think is more fun, is that gramophones, there was no volume control for a gramophone.
Oh, so you put a sock in it.
Yeah, so they would like be like, oh, let's put a sock in it, and you could dampen the noise, because like it's not like today where you can just turn the volume down, and when the instruments got really loud, it was like, oh my gosh, like if you don't have a party or something, you put a sock in it, and they're like, but who would have a sock just laying around their parlor? And they're like,
everybody.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I
like,
know during that time maybe you didn't have as many socks lying around or whatever, but like
still, you still had socks.
It was just like the perfect size, they said. So like, why would they just be like, oh, let's just go find something to put this in? And they found out that the socks were
to muffle it.
Yeah, to muffle the gramophone. And I personally like that because I think,
do too.
Yeah, I think that.
I don't know. I like
sense.
Both of them though.
Yeah, if you like put it in his mouth, that'd be funny.
Yeah, because he's snoring.
Right.
Yeah.
I have two more for you, Felina.
Okay.
This one's one of my favorites. I saved my two favorites that I thought were more interesting for last. I mean, there were other ones that I liked, but this one is turn a blind eye. Mm-hmm. So we know that one as...
You act like you don't see it.
Yes. You're going to turn a blind eye.
That's none of my business.
Right. You're not going to see the truth. Some people, it's like, oh, they're turning a blind eye. Like they're not realizing, or they're not admitting to what their son's doing or something like that. You can use it. You can use it in that sense too. You know what I mean? I have heard it in that and then also too. Like, so someone is like not coming to grips with something, like you can refuse. But like what you're saying is, I'm going to turn a blind eye. That's also correct. This is said also, once again, so this is a real event, but they're saying like what he said is probably legendary, but I think
it's true.
It's true. So this man named Horatio Nelson was a British naval officer. Perhaps you've heard his name. Not Horatio Hornblower, but he was also a British naval officer. He was in quite the pickle during the Battle of Copenhagen. So Copenhagen. It was between the British against the Danish and Norwegian people. Okay. So they're shooting back and forth, as you do, whatever you do in the naval battles.
As one does.
You shoot the cannons. But it wasn't going too well for the British. And so the big guy who was in charge was like, I'm going to send a little signal to Horatio to tell him, it's time to like retreat. We need to, we've lost some ships, whatever. But Horatio, my guy, he was blind in one eye. Okay.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. He was blind in one eye from like another battle, like in the past.
Okay.
And allegedly he was not one to, he was
not one to back down.
He was not one to back down.
Okay.
And the other guy knew this. He's like, he's not going to leave unless I like give the signal. And so that's why he gave the signal. But then Horatio takes his spyglass or his, his little thing and puts it on his blind eye and says, I have only one eye and I have a right to be blind sometimes. I really do not see the signal. And I was like, oh my gosh. So he literally ignores him and then pulls off the victory because he did. Okay. But like, that's like, it's like, oh, that's just a legendary thing of him saying that. But I'm like, I really do not see the signal is classic. And I think it was real.
Even if he didn't say that.
Right.
But he was like, he saw it with this eye and was like,
no,
I'm going to give you my blind eye.
I can use my blindness sometimes.
Yeah.
Like that's what he's like. He's like, I have a right to be blind sometimes. I didn't see that signal.
He's like, I think we can meet him.
I think it was probably said like in a different manner. Someone was like, did you hear what Horatio said, man?
Yeah.
That's so funny. We're going to say that from now on.
Yeah, turn a blind eye.
Now, obviously, some people have to be not fun and think that some of this phrase what just happened?
Breathe, Hannah, breathe.
What I just stroked out. They think that it might have existed before the 1600s. And I'm like, no, it didn't. But many people think we say it because of the embellished story of Horatio.
Yes.
Because
it gained popularity nonetheless.
Nonetheless. And he was like blind in one eye, and he was, this battle happened. It's just whether or not he actually said that. But I say he did. So therefore, it is true.
Tis the gospel truth.
All right. And my last one is Mad as a Hatter.
From the Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, but that's not where it actually originates. So it originated before Alice in Wonderland. Okay. And it refers to a crazy or eccentric person, like, they're mad as a hatter. We know that, right?
Right.
But it originates in the 1700s, 1800s. And Alice in Wonderland is old. It was written in like the 1830s, but this saying is even older. And it refers to hat makers. Because they would come in contact with mercury when they were...
Oh, and they'd go cray-cray.
When they were... So to make the felt that were in the hats, you had to use this thing called... was it mercury nitrate or something like that? I have it written down somewhere. But mercury nitrate, which is toxic. Okay.
Right.
They didn't know that at the time.
Well,
of course,
they also put like there was like that one thing in green dye in women's dresses.
Yes, the dresses, and also in what is that called? And in the cups.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because there's a whole play about the girls who worked with that.
Arsenic.
Right?
No.
Arsenic?
No.
Arsenic was one of them, though.
Arsenic was one. But there was something else.
Yeah, what is that? What is the green thing called?
I don't know.
Anyway, yes, just like that. Like they would put it in things and you'd be like, cool.
Isn't there like go crazy?
Yeah, green paint too or something like that,
well,
you said?
Paint is lead.
Well, paint is lead, but I thought there was also like
there was like a green dye that they would put in fabrics.
Oh, in the fabrics.
In women's clothing.
I think it was arsenic though.
And then women would wear that and then they'd like lose their minds.
Yeah.
And they'd go like crazy. Mm-hmm. They'd be like loopy. You know, like.
And there was a reason. So they were essentially, when they were exposed to this toxic material for longer periods of time, because they're sitting there working with it, especially the hat. Hat making people, it would cause mental and physical issues. You could have emotional ups and downs. You could have hallucinations. And then lots of people got tremors, which they dubbed the Hatter's shakes because they would shake, but it was from the mercury.
Yeah.
And
mercury poisoning.
Mercury poisoning. Yes, they were literally being poisoned and they didn't know.
They were poisoning themselves.
So, and in Danbury, Connecticut was apparently like the top hat producer of that time in the 1800s or the 1900s, one of those. And they would name these shakes Danbury shakes, so they had their own version of it. Okay. But essentially it was banned in 1940 from the hat making business, as they probably discovered that mercury was no bueno for you. Yeah, and some people believe that the man who killed John Wilkes Booth might have been mentally unstable because he was a hat maker. Actually, he worked in a hat making facility, and so they thought maybe he had gone crazy from mercury poisoning. So that's where Mad as a Hatter comes from, because they were poisoning themselves with mercury and going crazy.
Wow.
And those are the quotes, the quotes.
More you know.
Yes, those are the sayings I have for you today, but there were a lot other ones. So maybe we'll do a part 2 because they're pretty fun. Yeah. Some of them, like, I didn't know that.
If you know any other ones in their origins, you should totally reach out to us at lattespodcast@gmail.com or on Facebook and Instagram under Lattes on My Mind. Or you can reach us at lattespodcast.com, or on any of our posts, you can comment on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Audible, or YouTube.
Or email us. Did we say that?
Yeah, I said email first.
Okay, because apparently we've been getting a few emails.
Yeah, we got a couple emails.
We might be checking them out and seeing if we should respond or not. Because they're not just like... They're about things. They're about, people saying
potential guests, maybe.
Potential guests. Yeah. And we're like, so maybe we'll see.
Say less.
Well, say less. But yeah, definitely email us because we see those.
Yes, we like that. We like those.
Yes, and we would love to get some topics from you all, because we're always needing some topics. Let me tell you, your girls be researching last minute.
Sometimes we do. Sometimes we're like, anybody got anything?
It's literally like the night before. You got a topic? No.
Sometimes I'm like, hey, mom, anything interesting you learned
have
today?
Have you spill the beans, mom?
Yeah, for real.
For real.
Give us the tea.
Yeah.